Morning everyone. We're back to bipolarity with the weather. A lot of you would have seen trooping King's birthday parade on Saturday. There were moments that were glorious, it was bright, it was sunny, but generally speaking it was something of a washout, which is very unfortunate considering the amount of prep that went into it on the part of the soldiers and the troopers. But hey, it is what it is. So a new week begins here in central London with impatient tourists and new groups arriving to enjoy the sights. And to be honest, I mean, can you blame them? You can't really. Not on a morning like this. Sorry, go ahead. Not on a morning like this, you can't. The tourist is standing there, like looking directly in my face. Very odd woman. Maybe she wanted to be in my video. You'll notice, that a few people do walk up crazy close to the camera, and it almost looks like they're going to walk into it. But fortunately, thus far, they haven't walked into it. It's only a matter of time until that happens. I mean, everything else that we never thought would happen pretty much has happened, including a lot of odd things that I've never posted because it would be irresponsible to do so. To address a couple of points that have been recurring in the comments. Why have there been repeats posted recently? Well, folks, two reasons actually. Not only have we not had any horse guards on Saturdays because it's been closed for the three trooping the colours, the Major General's review, the Colonel's review, and then of course His Majesty's review with the birthday parade. But more importantly, to me personally, is exam season. Not for me, but for my children, and that means they need their number one cheerleader, teacher, mentor and father, i.e. me. So that's the reason, people. Luckily, the Troop in the Colour military season, or that part of the military season, is almost out of the way. I'm just looking at this boat. I think that's the high speed. Yeah, it goes part of the way along the river, and then it goes at hyper speed when it gets out of the centre. You sort of pay for a thrill ride on this little boat. Very expensive though. I seem to remember it being something like about £60-70 plus per person. Oh, he's waving at us. How nice. How lovely and thoughtful. I mean, he didn't even know that I was filming, but he still waved at us. So yes, military season. We've still got Beating the Retreat coming. We've got, of course, King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery will be at Horseguards very, very soon. A lot of you will know when, if you'd watched previous videos, because I did speak to them live on camera and got a date. But more importantly, this time next week, my children will have finished all of their examinations, which means they will then be free to travel and do whatever they want to do with their summer holidays, leaving me in peace and hopefully quiet, meaning that I can refocus on the channel, on the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery, on the tourists, lovely as they all are, and more importantly of all, on all of you lovely viewers. You might have seen I haven't been as active in the comment section. That's the reason, people. Too much going on at once. Exam season and military season happen to collide. But the good news is that after all of that's done, oh, hold on, we've got a couple of Chinooks actually heading, I'm sure, past the London Eye. Glorious clouds today. Can you spot them, folks? If you can't hear them, can you spot those two Chinooks? They're just starting to pull around. There we are, look, against the cloud. They're pulling around, heading over toward Wellington Barracks. So I have no idea who they might or might not be picking up. Oh, actually, wow, they're going straight above us at this moment. You can hear it. Just waiting for Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries to start playing, just like in Apocalypse Now. Oh, everyone's looking up. They're super, super, super noisy. What a glorious sight, actually, to see here on the bridge. Especially we've got no scammers. They haven't come back, guys, since that day we shamed them. Anyway, there goes the Chinook. The clouds today are something else, I'm sure you'd agree. I mean, looking at them myself through my glasses, they are extraordinary. The cloud formation today is absolutely spectacular. However, the camera is picking up in a whole different way. Wow. I mean, doesn't it just look as though somebody's grabbed a massive handful of cotton wool and sort of just tossed it over the Houses of Parliament? Absolutely glorious. That cloud formation is spectacular. Wow. Really, really wonderful. No wonder I did kind of think to myself, like, why is everybody so sort of enamoured, even more so than normal, when I came out onto the street? Okay, so over we go. Let's begin a little journey to a place we all know and love. And as you can see, the eagle-eyed among you, from that small clock in the distance, the time is roughly, give or take, about 37.5 minutes past 10. So we're really, really nice and early this morning, so no rush, hence me having a little bit of time to explain to you folks about why there's been less original content than you, the viewer, or I, your beloved videographer, would have liked. Oh, 1 second guys, I'm going to stay here for a second because if she jumps I'm going to try and catch her. Nope, she's not going to jump, all good. I wouldn't really try and catch her because I mean she dragged me over the side pretty quick, and that would be it. I would be cold, wet, and not a happy boy. In fact, the water's very choppy, extremely choppy today. Now, one thing you might have noticed, not everyone, but a good majority of people have short sleeves today. Why? Because, drum roll, we are going to potentially hit around 20 degrees, which I know to a lot of you is like, hold on a second, that's our winter temperature. 20 degrees in London for myself and for tourists is a relative rarity. And we've had the coldest June for ages. Hold on, here we go, look. Making some silly little Instagram reel on the way to work. Hey, I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing, I guess. Slightly more sophisticated way, but at the end of the day, it's still social media. Much as I despise the entire concept, here we are. I find myself engaged with it. But lots of happy people, and oh god, she's back. And more importantly, in fact, than the happy people, well, actually, there isn't really anything more important than happy people. Okay, as importantly as all the happy people, yes, that weather, folks. We should, starting today, be entering a period now, at least for the next 2 weeks, and hopefully longer, of weather stability. What I mean by that, I mean the forecast is predicted 20-ish, give or take, for most of this week. Bright, sunny, got no rain predicted. And there, beloved viewer, is our usual money shot. Isn't it absolutely wonderful with those clouds? Yeah, I really should consider becoming a photographer. Perhaps if this fails, I will. The other interesting thing, folks, is that by this time next week, in fact probably by this time tomorrow in all honesty, the channel will have hit a new milestone of 70,000. Now a lot of you might think, actually, you know what, that's not that much. It's not really that high. When you look at other channels in this genre, some of them have got way over 100,000. However, this is the only one that only posts long form content. Whole different ball game to those little teeny weeny bits of I was going to say spam. I mean, that isn't really fair because, you know, some of my friends post short form, but
have everybody. We don't know where they went.
oh, they've lost part of their cycling group.
Oh wait, there, I see them.
Oh, look, teacher's gonna go. What happened? Did half your group vanish? They just disappeared.
You know, and then we looked back and they just weren't there. We're like,
oops.
Yeah.
Funny. They're all panicking now. Like, where did the rest of the group go? I need a hat like that, guys. Very colourful, almost like a rainbow in hat form. Oh, look at this Swish fellow on the way to the office. Being bashful, he doesn't want to be in our video. He's worried about getting lots of admiring messages from you ladies. You can see that's where our MPs sit, folks, and have their breakfast. At our expense, that is, you and I, the British taxpayer. They sit there, stuff their faces on subsidised food and drink. Easy life, no wonder they're so scared about getting kicked out. The Tories, that is. Okay, over we go. Oh, I think some Tories have already had enough. Look, they're already sitting on the floor, exhausted. Look. That's unfortunate. Let's hope that she's okay. It's a great thing though, isn't it, to see that the bridge is so clear of scum and scammers. I don't think, to be honest, sad as it is to say it, that will remain the case throughout the proper tourist and summer season. Strictly speaking, summer did start a couple of weeks ago. However, this feels like the first summer. You know, I've been going on about, hey, where is summer for weeks now? But to finally actually be out with short sleeves, and I did check, it's been 2 weeks almost since we had a day like this, which is completely unparalleled at this time of the year. And most of last June was in the mid to high 20s for the whole month. So a little disappointing, but hopefully we'll have one of those glorious Indian summers occasionally here when the summer arrives a little late, it will go on way past August into September, sometimes even to the first week of October. We could see pretty high temperatures, which means ideally way past the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery stay in London, we should be hitting some high temp. I mean, I'm optimistic, but then again, I'm an eternal optimist anyway, so you know, it is what it is. Lots of happy people. Okay, and notice, folks, how many people are not wearing coats. He says as a group of people come by wearing jackets. Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of touristy vibe. And British school children, not all of them, but the majority of them, some of whom you can see in front of us now. I'll let them pass before we walk along. Most will be finishing school in the coming weeks. Those that have exams will mainly be finished this week or next week. 90% of people with exams will be finished this week. What does that mean? It means that we will have zillions of British families and their kids on holiday, as well as all of the guests and visitors, etc. So those numbers that we've occasionally seen explode at horseguards, what can I say? It's going to be pretty much a consistent experience like that. I do remember when it started last year, there was rarely a quiet day when the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery horseguards on Kingsguard duty last year. I don't know 100% what we're going to find this year, but you can see the kind of numbers, the ebb and flow of bodies on a warm and sunny day. Now, it is the beginning of the week. It is a Buckingham Palace guard change day. Now, whether that might, as has happened recently, be cancelled, I can't tell you, folks. I mean, I honestly today hope it won't be cancelled, because I think we're going to have sufficient numbers without that massive additional flood of people. So I think you'd agree, folks, for, you know, this early in the morning, i.e. pre-11 a.m, it's pretty chock already, isn't it? Okay, miraculously, the lights have hit green. I'm going to follow these people here, because that way if the bus decides to break the lights, he'll get them before me. Hopefully the two of them together will be enough to stop the bus in its track before it hits me. Okay. Oh, the dude in the front of the car, he's like, put the camera down. No, I'm not going to put it down. Right, to our favourite, or one of our favourite sites before we head into the final steps toward horseguards. I mean, there's been so little time. You might have noticed, actually, in the last couple of weeks worth of videos, even the new videos, there was no strutting around at the beginning. There was like, you know, horseguards camera on, video camera off. But then I thought, you know, it's important to at least provide some new content during the period that I was unable to provide as much as I normally like to do. Hopefully, as mentioned, that will now change. If somebody was super smart, they would set up either some sort of little very low charging photography concession here, or if they were even smarter than that, a little sort of, you know, hair and makeup touch up plus photography concession, because that would make a fortune here. Yes, the police move you on, they say, oh, you're not licensed, whatever, but like the scammers on the bridge, you know, just a little portable makeup desk and chair, gosh. But hey, it's just the entrepreneur in me. This here would make a fortune. Just say to the tourist, £10, I'll do your hair and makeup in under 10 minutes. Make at least, I think, probably £500 a day. Yeah, and if it got popular, you just double your prices to £20 per touch up. Easy cash business, folks. There we go. If I've just helped somebody and improved their life, well done. I'm not quite sure why she's wearing a long raincoat and a fluffy white hat in this weather, but hey, it takes all sorts. Brazilian, I'm guessing. One day one of these horses is going to push the phone box over. It's going to fall against the wall. They're going to cry. Oh, wait, hold on, who's next? Wait, was she not there a moment ago? Yeah, actually she was. The funny thing is, well, every single person that's flooding past is going to be in the back of one of her pictures. Even that dude was in the back. And And each day we come here, the phone box gets even more covered with stickers, meaning that eventually there'll be no glass left. In fact, the stickers are probably the only thing that's holding the glass in. Look at that. Thousands of people from all around the world put localized stickers on our beloved phone box, which I guess in some ways is kind of cute, but eventually they will either replace the glass or somebody will come along and scrape the stickers off. One huge problem, and I remember this from my youth in central London, was that all of these phone boxes, every single one, used to have, oh, is it going to make a call? Only problem is, it doesn't work. In fact, even the door doesn't close. Ta-da! Wait, that's not just a random tourist. Okay, maybe he's an ex-British Telecom employee that's obsessed with red phone box orderliness. Yeah, back to what I was saying. When I was a child, the phone boxes were blighted, especially in this part of London, Westminster, by calling cards. You can guess the kind of, ladies of the night calling cards I'm referring to. But you would have hundreds of them plastered all over every phone box. And council officials used to come round first thing in the morning and remove all of those dozens of calling cards that have been left overnight. And the process would be repeated cat and mouse, constantly. It's an absolutely unwinnable battle. Actually, yeah, the gent that was pushing the other phone box closed. He's got keys. He just stopped at the one behind me. Okay, I didn't actually notice that some of them are lockable. I guess once they get broken, or if somebody uses it as a public latrine, I dare say they lock it until it's been completely cleaned. Healthy numbers though, folks, eh? Remember, we normally walk along Whitehall, this part of Whitehall, and it's relatively deserted. You can see the enthusiastic hordes have already left there.
This way, John. Right here.
Wait, she just said this way, John, right here. I don't even know that woman. Who's she talking to? I guess that's the downside of having I was going to say common. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the common. I mean, we peasants are commoners, am I right? If we're not noble, we're commoners. Commoners are peasants, same thing. With having a popular, that's a better choice of word, popular name. Now, we've still got some barriers kind of laying around on Whitehall, but as you can see, the central area itself, including the cenotaph actually, if I stop and focus on the cenotaph, no barring at all. Which, to be honest, is a great thing to see. But it is indicative of the fact that, the military part of the year is largely out of the way. We've still got the celebratory military part, which is next month, beating the retreat. And yes, folks, I have got tickets. I'll be at it, and I'll do my best to cover it for all of you. Okay, Downing Street is our last sort of landmark before we hit, we all know where, and I'm completely so out of the loop. I don't actually remember which regiment is there now and which regiment is going to be arriving relatively soon. Okay, there's Downing Street, looking lovely, place to enjoying the sunshine. All, as you can see, with short sleeves this morning. That's actually quite a nice shot, isn't it? Yeah, not bad at all. Wait. Morning debriefing. I think that Mr. Sunak, our beloved Prime Minister, should actually have a morning briefing himself with the cabinet outside. That might clear a few cobwebs from their collective brains and inspire some fresh decision and policy making. Okay, next stop, tourist stall of Tad, and then we're at horseguards. Gardening team cleaning up the buildings on the other side of the road, which is good to see. Yeah, the mad part of the year is out of the way, which is great in terms of what happens here on Whitehall. That is, we've had, I've lost count. George's Day. So many other things have happened on Whitehall. Plus, we had that rugby thing, didn't we, last week that I stumbled upon that I'd never actually heard of before. It's all looking rather lovely though, actually. They're power washing all of the tourist dirt and detritus away. Okay, the two flags are there. I seem to remember last year that the flags were left up until beating the retreat had finished and the King's Troop had finished at horseguards, which means, strictly speaking, those flags should be there until circa August, if not something beyond that. We'll see. I don't know who makes these kind of decisions, because it would be great to ask them why the Union flag is not flying consistently and continuously, as I think any of you would agree. You know, go to Paris, walk around, you see the tricolour everywhere, government buildings, etc. It's a permanent view. Same in almost any other country I've ever visited. The US, of course, flags are probably more ubiquitous than any other country in the world. But ditto Russia, China, other places. Okay, so made it to horseguards. Am I the first one here? Not quite. I mean, I might be the first person here with a camera. I've noticed actually it seems that they've finally fixed the bollards. Because, I mean, how long has it been since they were effectively stuck on the floor? Oh. Who's this fine looking fellow with a nice long pole and some hat? All good? Yeah? Okay, I'm the second. Maybe the first, maybe the second. I think we just arrived here simultaneously. Okay, so folks, the lifeguards are here. I'm actually happy about that. Exceptionally. Why? Because it means that in about 5 minutes from now... Oh, actually, wait, they're already arriving. Well. We've all got the same hat today. 3 of us here now, all with the same hat, which is interesting. I see it arriving. They're just coming onto the parade ground, and I'm happy actually to strut my stuff through the tunnel this morning, mainly because of the fact that, ladies and gents, it's not yet completely jammed. Also, it looks like they're constructing something. What are they doing? Taking down the seating, perhaps, already for the end of the military season. Look, got this massive crane at the back. Looks like they're either building a new stage or disassembling an existing one. Oh, look at this. Wait a second, look, the Blues and Royals are coming in a different way today. Look at this. That's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? It's a shame I wasn't about 10 seconds faster. Zoom us in so we don't miss it. Look. We're now zoomed in at 3. One second, I'll zoom us back out in a moment. Here they are, look. So they've had to come in around this massive works that's going on over here. I did wonder why the police officer was screaming at everybody to get back. Horses are also a little bit jittery this morning. Nice timing, eh, folks? That's extraordinary that I had a 20-minute walk and hit horseguards at the exact moment the Blues are coming through. It's not a long guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one, the back is very chill, look. Amazing, eh? Wow. That was a pleasure. Let me dash back round to get a good view when they go into the tunnel. I don't know actually, folks, what that crane is for, the ongoing works.
One of the reasons why Churchill got them so well with the Queen as well.
Magnificent. Oh, I think we've got a new lady trooper. I didn't recognise her. Yeah, horses are a bit jittery. I mean, there's nothing here noise-wise, weather-wise, or anything else that would lead to them kicking off. I think it might just be the fact that the usual rhythm is not familiar. They never ride around toward that blue seating. And obviously today is something different. Okay, let's get ourselves into the yard, folks, and get a good close-up view of the Blues as they arrive. I think that would be the smart option. They should, theoretically, be through at any moment. But one single person that we're looking at right now it would appear to me, is aware that the Blues and Royals are arriving. Let's see if this little three-man basketball team are going to go over and annoy the guard. If they do, I will follow. Why? Why not? That's why. Nope, they've gone up the back, which is a pity. Okay, so let's wait. Theoretically, they should be through any moment, but one never knows. We've been through this before. Oh, police officer saying morning to the tourists. How nice. Reminds me of being at Buckingham Palace. I really hope actually that this morning's guard change is not cancelled at the palace. That said, we've had so many of them recently. I noticed this lady was following me earlier actually when I went out the time. Now she's standing there looking at the camera on the left. Anyway, here come the Blues and Royals. Let's forget about her for the moment. Let's hope the police remember to move out the way before the horses arrive. I've never yet actually seen an incident where the guards have had to shout at the police. It has happened before. One of my fellow videographers captured it a long time ago though. 1, 2, 3, 4, very familiar face, number 4, and number 5, couple of horse with a lot of facial hair. And you know what? I can't say I blame him. I have a lot of facial hair too. Beautifully and elegantly done. Very, very simple, eh? Straight in. Okay, let's leave them and go and have a look at who we've got at the front. I wasn't, as usual, folks, focusing on the horses. Ormond could well have just gone in and I wouldn't have even seen him. But it doesn't matter because even if he's here, doesn't mean he's going to be on duty. But hopefully, at some point, he will be. We will have to wait and see.
2 hours and the horses change over.
Oh, interesting.
There's actually stables inside of this building. This is horseguardsparade.
American or Canadian, I'm not quite sure actually from her accent. Instinctively, she doesn't sound like she's from the US. Oh god, Canadians are going to hate me now. Which accent was that tour guide, folks? Canadian or US? Point being, it's one of the first non-British tour guides I've heard. There's a very popular, very professional Israeli tour guide here, Ron. There's a lady from New Zealand, red-haired lady, who's also lovely, and lots of Spanish tour guides. But I don't think I've ever come across a US or Canadian tour guide working with groups here at Horseguards. The trooper looks very happy actually. He's got a bit of a smile on his face, probably because he knows it's almost time to go home. It's like this lot that have just arrived. Look. Ta-da! I think I'll try and do an even split, folks. I'll see what the numbers are like after the palace guard change, which might well be in part 2, we'll see. And do a bit of a split, yard, horses. And I will go back to name as many horses as I can. What are they doing? Oh, so he's looking for a mounting to hike up. The problem is there aren't any in London. I guess you can sort of hike up toward Hampstead Heath. Or maybe up the hill at Greenwich Park.
Here's the picture, he'd be a cute addition.
In fact, as you can see, folks, lots and lots and lots of people have sunglasses. Let's hope that they're going to be needed for the next 3 months because the entire vibe here is different when the sun is shining. Completely different in a very, very, very good way. I can't see the clock actually though from the spot I'm standing at, which is a bit unfortunate. Wait, let me have a look. It's 11:02, so theoretically at any moment the 2D boxes should come out. Oops. Trying not to smash my water bottle on the bollards. Nope.
Like, I am with you.
Not down. Boys like no. It's like, Mom, no, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
He's cute. He's not gonna hurt you.
It's a tough one actually. I remember dragging mine up toward animals, or not directly that close to an actual animal, but I mean up close to certain certain creatures at London Zoo, and then being very resistant to go near. But I think it's important actually, not to force them, but to gently cajole them, because life, I think, in part is about confronting one's fears, and thus getting over them. Wow, he's had a lot of orange juice this morning, though. Other horses were leaving themselves all over the place, making an absolute mess of things. Having had breakfast not that long ago, I don't think I want to be at that end. Gosh, it's going to stink, isn't it, at that end? I wouldn't anyway. I mean, it's a bit kind of... plus it stinks. Okay, I think it's finished. Right, so some tourists have put their kids down on the bollards. Not the smartest. I'm going to tell her. 1 second. Hey guys, do you speak English?
Yes.
These go down in the ground very quickly sometimes. Yeah, then the kids will get hurt.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thought I'd better tell her because I couldn't live with myself if the bollards retracted and the kids ended up breaking their necks. There should, to be honest, I think, be something on the bollards, because there's no warning here. If anyone important arrives, a VIP or something, then in the guard room they will lower the bollards, and then boom, kids will just go plonk. So not ideal, but there we are. I bet now they're going to think I was lying and a busybody, but better to tell them actually, even if the bollards don't go down. He's just sticking his tongue out at us. Look, he's like, meh. Which is curious. I'm not sure why he's doing that, but hey, it is what it is. I think this trooper is going to be delighted to go home actually. Seeing a top of a horse that's just done a massive amount of freshly squeezed, I was going to say orange juice, it's more like lemon juice from here. Huge mess. In fact, it really is a bit whiffy this morning. Sights and sounds of horseguards, folks. I thought somebody was about to walk through behind the horse. You can hear how many voices and accents are behind me. 200 people here already. And they come out the gate and just stops right in the middle, and then boom, everybody walks into them. Meanwhile, the police are definitely going to close that down in a second if the guy doesn't move away quickly. It's extraordinary that, you know, sometimes we wondered about how it is that people might have luggage or whatever and arrive here. That's how. I think they might be okay though, because of the fact that the police are having to watch the yard, because the replacement gatesman and chitsman have just come out from the Blues. Otherwise they would have told that car to shift pretty damn quick. Everybody blocked the gate, which effectively means that no one else is going to get a decent view, because they're all sort of stuffed there like a big sausage roll filling. Look. Completely jammed already. Crazy, eh? I know what you're thinking, they need a bigger gate. Folks, they have a bigger gate in the middle, however, it's always kept closed. It's not locked, but it's closed whilst the guard change process is ongoing. Okay, so the lifeguard has been taken in, you can see that, through the gate. Which means next up, the new chitsman. Given how many police officers there are, I'm going to be very surprised if he needs to raise his voice at anybody as he heads in. Let's see if we can get ourselves in anyway.
Oh, is he the commander? I think so, he's the commander. Is he crazy?
There he is. No, the officer's going to spoil the fun. Look. Almost got myself squished, folks. This massive group.
你可以顺着边上。
Curiously, they decided to do the gatesman chessmen before doing the boxmen this morning. Okay, luckily that British sixth form group, who, I don't know if you heard what they were talking about, had absolutely no clue at all about what's going on here this morning, or why the guards are here, or indeed their function or where they're going, etc. To me, curious, but there we are. I'm sort of weaving my way behind everybody. Those new horses should be out any moment. I don't know where he's going. This guy's very odd.
这个是真正的荷枪实弹啊，这个因为
He's sort of like, where are you going? Why are you here? Meanwhile, our new gatesman is about to get pestered by way too many tourists. Oh, there's someone waving to get. I don't know who they all are, everybody, but welcome to the channel, folks. That's actually pretty cute. Little mini Mexican wave, guys, for all of you viewers. Okay, right, so we are back at the front. And the horse is like, John, you're not giving me enough attention this morning. Horsey, I'm sorry about that. It's a really beautiful horse, guys. I apologise for not getting the hoof number. It's going to be a lot harder now the sun's out, for the reasons that we have encountered before, namely that annoying reflection on the hooves. Don't worry, guys, don't worry, it's okay. People are always walking directly in front of the camera and not noticing that it's there until their nose is pretty much touching the lens. Move myself back a teeny weeny bit and out of the way. And wait for those new horses. I mean, that's what everyone else is waiting for. Even this bro here with the tattoos on his head is waiting for it. He's like, oh, I can't wait for the horses. There we go, folks. Look, a free tour for all of you. It's a jobbing tour guide. No, he's got no lanyard. He's not officially licensed. Okay, so let's get right in. I thought for a second that was Ormond behind, but it's not, folks. Blast, that's a pity. But actually, wait. Nope, he's not in the other box either. We've got two blazed horses, neither of whom are Ormond, which is a pity, but I mean it's kind of not really a surprise, given that there's a 1 in roughly 95 chance of us having Ormond just turn up in one of the boxes. Okay, who's this big fluffy monster? Let's have a quick look, folks. Inbound, 1 minute. This one is our favourite dribbler, Yosemite. Yep, look, he's already dribbling all over the place. But I think he's still munching his breakfast. It's not the usual sort of white froth, it's like a sort of like an oaty shake.
Why has it got numbers on its feet?
Those are the ID numbers for the regiment. That, ladies and gents. Oops. That made them jump, didn't it? In fact, that made me jump. It made the horse jump.
Yeah.
This is the trooper just quickly slamming the doors a little bit too hard. If you can see, the trooper on the horse, who actually, in fact, he's one of my favourites in the Blues at the moment, because he's the trooper that often loses it and starts laughing when tourists are silly or if something funny happens. He's a Joe Pesci trooper. But that's caught his plume a little bit off. Look, notice the mess on the my left, on the right side for him, on the plume. I think the fact the sword sort of jerked a little bit when the horse moved so quickly surprised the trooper. I mean, it surprised all of us. I'm not sure how clearly we got those two girls being startled somewhat. I'm going to take this in for a while though, because Yosemite's a favourite on this channel. He's a big softie, but arguably more importantly, this trooper's brilliant. He's bringing the horse back a little bit now though, which is going to spoil our fun somewhat with the tourists. Well, we'll see which one we've got the other end in a minute, but she's like, no, I'm not going any closer, that's close enough. And I can't say I blame her. I haven't yet seen how this trooper responds to miscreants that take the mick or grab the reins, but hopefully we'll find out at some point. He's really got that OD shake that's sloshing all over the floor. In fact, he's made more of a yellow mess on the floor this end than the previous lifeguard horse at the other end. That's sloshed everywhere. I feel sorry for the tourists actually when the horses pull back in the box, because they can either get a semi-useful picture like that, which is not going to be great, is it, let's be honest, or risk getting shouted at by standing in the box. Or indeed getting pushed in the box, like that tourist did, I think it was last week. The lady got pushed in the box by the horse and the trooper shouted at her, even though it wasn't her fault. I thought it was a little unfair, but yeah, hey, rules are rules. Naughty horse tricking tourists to get them into trouble. Let's wait actually until the trooper decides to bring his horse back out. The other horse is out in the sunshine. But interestingly, I don't even know how the sign at this end is managing to stay on the wall. I think it's super crooked today. He's also pulled the horse back a teeny bit to keep it and himself out of the sunshine. It's very, very, very bright here, very warm. How many of you would come over immediately and straighten that sign? Exactly that, most of you. Yeah, me too. However, in the meantime, folks, let's get into the yard. Once it moves along a little bit, the light that is, they'll pull the horses back out. I forgot about that actually. That's one of the most annoying parts of it being super bright and sunny in the mornings here. This tall guy's got lovely yellow trousers actually. Even I don't own a pair of yellow trousers. He's got some moves, look. Very flexible fellow. Banana man. He's as bendy as Banana Man. Which might well explain the trousers. Damn it, now the second I arrive. However, I've just noticed that a certain fine fellow here is going to make sure that the tourists don't go anywhere near the archways anyway. When he's worked through his little shopping list, he'll be back on guard close to those doors. So, why are the officers still standing around in the middle? Because we haven't quite finished yet, folks. We've got, as I'm sure the officer's about to tell this lovely tourist, 2 more groups of troopers. Blues and Royals will leave, go back to the parade ground, and then the final lifeguards will ride in. Still got a while for that because the 2 blues that the 2 lifeguards that just came off need to get ready with the troop to leave, which they will be doing shortly. One guy's already checked out of the tour group. Okay. Super antisocial, which is like, my dad paid for the tour, but you know what? I can't be bothered. So you should enjoy a bit of time on the floor out of the sun. Gatesman, in fact, I dare say, is very happy that he's on foot today. This is the best cool shady spot out of all 3. The other trooper is standing well back to avoid being in the sunshine. Like a little bus stop they've built here on the right. In fact, in the sunlight, morning sunlight, this horse's forelock almost looks dark brown, like a chocolate. He's like, what do you mean? It's not brown. John, stop it. Good morning to you, Mr. Horse, and welcome back. He said, John, to be honest, I really was not in the mood this morning. You know, I did trooping the colour for the last 3 weeks. I'm tired, my back's sore. I really just wanted to spend a day in the stalls, but instead, I'm here because I'm a hard worker. I am a trooper. Yes. I mean, it's got good weather, isn't it? I'm sure the horse would prefer this than standing here in the rain, as a lot of them had to do during trooping on Saturday. The way he waves at it, it's like, hello. Some of the tourists expect the horse is going to salute them or something. Going forward, but they're not going forward quite enough, alas, yet. Don't worry guys, the palace flood will begin shortly. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to go home. It will. I'm sort of wondering, whilst he's distracted, having a chat with the fellow who runs the guard shop, if curiosity is going to get the better of any of these fine folks. Plus, at least being in the yard, we will shortly get to see 2 more groups of troopers, hopefully. Out of the front, I saw that bus this morning. Something called Pop Mart. Look, if I zoom through the fence, see this massive white bus that's about to go by with all the screaming people on top of it. Actually, I think it's just turned onto Horseguards Avenue. Where's it gone? It was right there. Oh, yeah, it's gone down toward the river in the distance. See that Pop Mart, that bus? It's been going around central London all morning, actually, with people screaming from the top of it. I don't know what Pop Mart is, but good viral marketing, I guess, having a bunch of young girls and guys screaming on the top of a bus. Okay. All of a sudden we need to wait to get back out to the front. Log jam here because the other gate is closed. Come on, tourists. Second I go out, there'll be another group. At this time, when we get to the front, folks, I'll stay there because I don't want to end up getting stuck in these jams constantly.
I've got to say hello, mate. We watch your channel.
Every day.
Cool
I
channel.
caught you guys here away. So it's good that you caught yourself in today's video, actually.
We wanted to see 2 legends that live in London. One is you, and the other
okay.
one is Ormond.
I'm not sure if he came in. It's funny because I normally concentrate on which troopers on the horses. I don't think he was in the first group. He's not in either of the boxes, but he might still be out the back before the second group come in. I really couldn't say. I'm quietly optimistic, but
When
yeah.
does the second lot come in?
I mean, normally by 11:30. So what time are we at now? Are we at 11:30 yet? Really close, aren't we?
20 past.
Just after 20. Soon. I mean, whenever they feel like it is the honest answer, but normally 11:30 at the latest. So they'll come through. Actually, before that happens, the rest of the lifeguards will leave and go through the tunnel. Then the rest of the blues will come in. Then that's it. It's finished.
Yeah.
So not long to wait.
Okay.
But I'm secretly hoping that Ormond will be here as well. So that's the 3 of us.
So we're interested to see what's on your video, like.
Oh no, well, you'll be on today's video because this is part 1. So it'll be up at probably about. Let me see. You'll be at around roughly the 35-minute mark, give or take, something like that, into the video, something like that.
I'm
With,
interested to see what you said about
Just-
this.
I didn't say anything. I'm like, oh look at the friendly toys doing a little mini Mexican wave, I think is what I said. Well, there were some other people with you.
Some Canadian.
Yeah, we're just talking to people. Yeah, as we was waiting.
So it wasn't a family group.
No,
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
us two, but the Canadians,
were talking to us. They were very nice. They've
I
been
was
here 3 years.
asking us
3
questions
weeks.
because we watch your channel. We was filling them in on all their.
So you feel like little tour guides already, yeah?
I watch it every day instead of the news. It's much more interesting than the news.
I mean, let's be honest, the news is depressing as
It
hell.
is,
and it's
yeah.
going to get a lot worse next month when we get a new PM, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah. No, great channel.
But
Love
you
it.
make us
Thank you.
laugh.
Yeah, you do.
You really make us laugh.
Anyway.
well, I mean, I do try. Haven't had as much time to be in the last couple of weeks, but as I said in the opening of this video, and hopefully now, yeah, I'll be back on it much more. It's just exam season. My kids are finishing exams, so yeah, super busy with that. But next Friday, the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery are arriving.
Yes.
We thought so.
Yep. So if you guys are in London or thinking of coming back, that's the day to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, we wanted to see the blues and
I love the
lifeguards.
blues and blues.
That's the main event.
Yeah, it is the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my favourite.
There are a couple of new faces actually. A couple or two of the troopers that came that I don't even know. There's one new lady trooper, another guy I don't recognise. So I'm thinking that they're starting to rotate some new personnel up into London from Bulford, which is good because the new people are much more inclined to shout at idiots, to
Yeah,
be
that's
honest.
what
Which-
I wait for. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I tell you what, if it's the same as last year, and because it's primarily a female regiment, the King's Troop will be much more on it in terms of
Oh, really?
yeah. Also, their horses are much smaller.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
the tourists, most of the horses are based. The tourists are much more enthusiastic about just sort of marching up
Yeah.
and grabbing the reins and stuff.
Yeah, our
Oops.
son's in the army, so
Ah, is he? Which regiment? Which regiment is your son in?
well, next month he's going to the Sniper Regiment.
Okay.
He's in the infantry, the Royal Anglians.
Ah.
I was in them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's in
he's,
Serbia at the minute.
yeah,
He's in Serbia.
Yeah, just like peacekeeping and showing a show of force really in that part of the world. That's all it is. With the Brits, we're always everywhere, aren't we?
It's true, we do
I really
do
feel
tend to be
these
everywhere.
guys when you get rude tourists and everything, because I think if that was my son, I'd really be unhappy.
This is the thing that the vast majority, and no offence to you, dear viewer watching, the vast majority of people that leave negative comments don't understand that I am a little bit harsh on tourists that misbehave, but at the end of the day, these guys are at work. Just because they're in a ceremonial uniform, people wouldn't walk into a bank and start taking the mick out of the bank manager.
No.
I don't see the difference myself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
true, yeah.
You know, I really don't. So, to those of you that criticise and say, "Yo, John, you're unfair on the tourists. You know, you're mean to them. You call them idiots," folks. If you disrespect somebody at their place of work, regardless of whether they're wearing a ceremonial uniform or not, then that to me is the epitome of idiocy. It's disrespectful, and hence me being hard on people that are stupid and disrespectful.
And
And
I
I-
would hate them being
yeah.
disrespectful to my son.
Massively, and the same. If one of my kids ever decided to join the army and was standing in a ceremonial function, I would really be angry.
Yeah.
As would anyone, to be honest, if they were completely honest with and truthful with themselves. If their kids were being, laughed at, pointed at, joked about
Yeah.
by a bunch of tourists that don't even understand the significance of what they're doing here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it riles me a little bit, and as a non-military guy, I can't even begin to imagine how much it angers you folks
Yeah.
that have got serving personnel
Yeah.
in your families.
Yeah.
So I do get it.
Yeah, it is annoying.
So I will not be changing my sort of, my focus. It is about the fact that if people are going to be disrespectful, then they're going to get called out for their stupidity. If people don't like the channel, folks, don't watch.
Yeah.
Simple, isn't it, really?
Yeah. You're just being truthful.
Yeah, best way to be. I'm glad that you
Thank you
gave
very much.
gave that perspective, because we've heard it a few times before from some of the troopers' relatives. But to hear it from two people whose son or daughter is not on duty, but you said that, hey, if you were, you'd be equally annoyed.
Yeah.
As would I,
Yeah.
massively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But anyway, thanks for saying hi, guys, and you will be in.
Thanks a lot, John.
It's a pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you.
it was great to meet you.
And thanks for the way that you got the fact that you got the Canadians right on time was brilliant
Let
stuff.
you get on.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. See you. Well, how lovely was that, folks? That really, I think, epitomises what the channel is about and the reason it's here. And I didn't really touch on this so much at the beginning, but I do remember a couple of comments, and I do try to read as many as possible, but I haven't been able to in the past week or so. Some comments have been, John, you need to stop being so harsh on the tourists. They bring in money to London, they help the economy, they are here to enjoy themselves, and if they make a mistake, if they do something wrong, it's not intentional, it's because they don't know the rules, or because they don't spend every day here like you do, folks. I've never spent 7 days a week here ever, and nor will I. Oh, we missed it. The second that I leave the yard, this guy in the cab went right into the archway. He went right in. He went right in. The guy behind you just walked straight in. It's cheaper than shadow.
Oh, really?
They're going the way.
Oh,
Oh, is he a new trooper?
I'm not sure. Actually, no, he's not. Well, so he walked right around the corner. No. Okay, that was interesting. I'm not sure why that happened. Very curious. I also noticed, just sort of off camera, well, from where I was obviously talking with a couple, that the officer came over because it looked like somebody had left their buggy, their pushchair, their stroller, take your pick of words, unattended by the front gate right next to the box. And that is a little bit odd, because to just park it there and think you can leave it there is somewhat presumptuous. But more importantly, I do wonder actually what they would do with it. We've never yet seen a situation whereby somebody's left something here for a long period of time and then it's not been claimed. I wonder if they would actually completely close horse guards and call in the B squad. I'm not going to say the word, but you know the one I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, here come the lifeguards. And they're off. Oh, the horse at the back, he's all over the place. Wow. The tour guide is saying they might have taken a while because one of the horses is not happy. The corporal of horse at the back has got an absolutely glorious horse. Pity we didn't catch the front of that horse. I'd like to know which one that is. It looks magnificent. Such a beautiful coat on that horse. Okay, I'm going to stand not too far forward, but a little bit further forward. I wonder actually if that super large crane, it doesn't probably look like too much out of the ordinary from where I'm standing on the camera, but the crane is absolutely enormous. Whether when the horses go through, it's freaking them out a teeny bit. I'm also wondering actually, yeah, the lifeguards will go out on a round in a different way, the same way the Blues arrived. I don't think it's worth getting out there in front of them. I'm much more interested in seeing the rest of the Blues come through, and hopefully we might get a look at Ormond. If he does come in by some miracle with this second group of Blues, then we've got a good chance, not by any means guaranteed, but a good solid chance of him being on duty at some point this morning. Maybe even next up actually, when they change them over. Bearing in mind shortly we will have two new horses at the front. Apologies for not IDing the other one yet, folks. I'll try to get around to it. So far we've got Yosemite. Okay, so lifeguards are just pulling round, about to leave. Look, it's all a bit of a mess out the back this morning with that big crane there. So they're having to walk across and go through the crowd. Might well explain why the horses are somewhat more skittish than usual. Although actually, wait, it seems to me they're going to go straight through the crowd, but that's curious because it's closed beyond with all the barrowing. Unless they're going to pull swiftly over to the left. 1 second. Nope, lifeguards have made their own way out, completely different way to the way the Blues came in. Unusual. But I mean, hey, if there's a space, why not? That space is very narrow. This is why I was thinking to myself, the Blues went round wide and moved the tourists out of the way. Anyway, they're in the tunnel any moment. Oop. A bit breezy actually now. After the Blues arrive, here they come. They're really on this about the white line situation now, which is not ideal, but I mean, rules are rules. Okay, let's zoom us right out, folks. Sorry, I'm a teeny bit too zoomed in. There we go. I think we might be okay here. We're just pushing it a teeny bit. Nope, not seeing them on, folks. Hiding Ormond, you're probably all wondering. I will if I can, depending on the tourists that come through. Go across. Is it okay to go across? Yeah, sorry, it is. Oh, no? Okay, thanks. 1 second. Oh, no, actually, no, they're keeping everyone back. This area at the front here. Look, massive jam, but they're not letting anyone further forward, so we're in the best spot for the moment. The throng in the tunnel is epic. We'll catch that in a minute when they've dismounted, and then start a fresh part 2 at the front, covering the next guard change. Everything looks immaculate, and some of these blues may well have been in the parade on Saturday. In they go. We'll zoom us forward in just a second when the final horse goes in to get in front of the crowd. 3, 2, 1. Look at this, guys. Get ready for it. Wait, let me zoom out. There we are. This little dude is waving to the camera. Wow. I mean, there's free food and then there's this. Like, what on earth? This fellow, look, he's like, let's go to Normandy, everybody. I'm going to show you the beaches. It's a lovely sunny day. Why would we be in London? This is what you like, isn't it, people? Tribute. All of these tourists paying tribute. Imagine if everyone coming toward us now was paying, I don't know, say just £5 for access to horse guards. That would be a lot of money for HCAV, wouldn't it? They better set up a laboratory and clone Ormonde 199 times. If each regiment had 100 Ormondes, imagine how much fun it would be here all day long. Dozens of small independent tour groups with private tour guides here this morning. Some of them with non-legit lanyards. It's very curious that this trooper didn't shout extremely loudly when that guy in the white cap walked into the archway. He went right round and had a good look, craned his neck right around the corner. Oops, let me get myself out of the way while the supply lot lady. No, you will not be in it, I promise, don't worry. They're civilian workers, and I do leave them off the camera wherever possible. As they walk into the frame, I can't help it, but I never actively turn the camera on them, it's not fair.
Whenever you're ready, ladies and gentlemen, follow me.
This guy's got some sort of extendable, looks like he broke somebody's radiator off their car, using it as his little mast for the group. Oh, somebody's stomping behind me. I actually thought that was a trooper for a minute, a gatesman. Someone was stomping. So that 360 was a bit faster than even I would have liked, everybody. We'll finish on part 1 short anyway, and part 2 will primarily be based with the horses. Not exclusively, but primarily. The first few people we saw coming through a little while ago are early arrivals from the palace. There'll be a lot more of those. He's from Yale. Shout out to everyone in, I think Yale's in New Haven, is it not? US viewers, I seem to remember. Okay, that's more like it. So part 2 will start at the front. So many jobbing tour guides we're seeing. I wonder actually where they find, or whether they just stand on the street and sort of offer their services, because you see, for example, even this lady, no blue lanyard. But they seem to attract plenty of customers, don't they? We never see a tour group that's smaller than 3 or 4 people. And I guarantee the unlicensed ones are not declaring it. Absolutely guarantee it. Okay, so the Chitzman, smart guy, is way back in the shadows. Can't say I blame him. In fact, even the police are in the corner now, out of the sun. Try not to sneeze. Wait. Oh, folks, don't know which horse it is, but that I think is the first one they're getting ready for round 2, coming up shortly. I think from the left stable block to the right. Troopers are unpacking and putting away all the kit at the back. A huge number of long coats and other things. Surprising actually they brought the long coats over, because we're forecast to have this weather for the entire week, but there it is. Everyone's been good this morning, which is a good thing to see. Folks, I'll be back shortly in part 2, which, as I mentioned, will focus primarily this morning on the horses and interactions with the tourists at the front. So back shortly. Bye for now.